Hi everyone, let's look at today's question. Application on the Pdca model or cycle. Remember, before we can apply the Pdca model or cycle, we need to look at our cognitive verbs or our action words. Today's action verb is application. Over here, when they ask you for the number of facts, you will receive 2 marks for the fact and 1 mark for the explanation. Over here, the facts would be what each letter in Pdca stands for. Let's look at the content now. The P stands for plan. The business needs to identify the problem. In so doing, we plan the method of approach. The D stands for do. Implement the processes and systems. Implement the change then on a small scale. The C stands for control. Use the data to analyze the results of change. Determine if it made a difference. And lastly, the A stands for act. Suggest strategies on how to continually improve. If the change was successful, implement it on a wider scale. Let's look at our keywords. For plan, the keyword here is identify. That word will hopefully make you remember the first letter, which is plan. Our second keyword is implement. So when you implement something, you are doing something about the problem or the issue that you are trying to address. Our third keyword for control is determine. Determine here if what we are doing is making a difference. Then our last keyword is implement. Again, we use the word implement, but this time we need to remember that if our strategy is working, we will implement this strategy on a wider scale. Let's look at a few images to help us remember the content. Our first image for plan is a page with a pencil or a pen. Remember that when you plan correctly for anything, you usually write it down. For do, we have a wheel. Remember that wheels, when they are turning, they are working or doing something. Our image for control is a check mark in a circle. Usually when we control something, we check it off to see if it has worked or not. Our last image is an arrow moving to the right. And remember that if the strategy that we have applied in our first 3 steps is working, we will then apply this on a larger scale and move forward with this new strategy. Let's remove most of our content now. And we are left with the keywords identify, which goes with plan, implement, which reminds you of do, determine for control, and implement again, but this time with act. Now I will remove the keywords. We are left only with plan, do, control, and act. And it's over to you now, learners, to see if you can remember the Pdca model or cycle. Good luck!